Alright, I've taken a little bit of crap about the grill on my 2008 Tundra since I did the blackout of the badges with Plasti dip. So I heard you want me to black this whole thing out, paint the billet grill black, and maybe Plasti dip the badge in the center, and all these little grills down here I'm going to paint as well. So I'm going to take those off and sand them with some 500 grit and then hit those with paint, but the center badge I'll do in Plasti dip. And then maybe at a later date, if you guys think it's a good idea, I'll take off the whole chrome piece here that's around the grill and paint that body color. So let me know what you think. So quick tip on this Tundra badge, you don't have to do it on the truck like we did with all the other badges, because it really would prefer that you take it off. And then you don't have to cover up your grill and mask all the, everything off that you don't want to get sprayed with overspray. This will be a piece of cake, let me show you. So open your head. And then up here, behind it, I don't know if you can see these very well, but there are two little clips. If you push those clips and pop it forward, the badge is now tilted forward a little bit, and it just wants to come right off. Isn't that handy? For those of us that don't like chrome that much, I'm pretty excited. There's a sneak preview, well sort of, actually kind of looks cool like that. So for this badge, since we took it off the truck, I'm going to make a little mounting onto this cardboard box for me to paint it against, just so I don't have to touch it or move it around. I'll show you what I mean. So I had a couple of bolts laying around. You could really use anything, just to pin the box into a position that will work for you. And I'm taking these tabs of this box and folding them over like that, and then I'll punch or put a slot through the box and then stick that bolt through it to hold it at an angle for me. So this is what I mean. I'll take a razor blade, pop a little hole in it, and take this and poke it through. Slot that I just made, and this will just hold it in place. And then I'll take the razor blade again, cut another slit in the other box, and then slide that through the slot that I made, and that'll hold it for me at that angle. Let's see what I did there. Okay, now that I have the box kind of at an angle that I want, I'm going to take this badge and stick it on here and give it a little press, not hard, but hard enough to make a mark for me, and then I'll slice those marks. Then I'll take the badge and push it into those slots that we just made. And now we've got a ready-made Toyota badge cardboard box that we'll Plasti dip against. And as always, clean that badge really, really well. I've already done it with some rubbing alcohol and some invisible glass foaming stuff, which really does a good job of pulling any dirt and grit out of the crevices and whatnot. So it's going to be a very light dusting this first coat. That's pretty much it. We'll go around that outside edge a little bit. And then don't forget to flip your can upside down and spray it until you get air. That cleans your tip. Now we'll just let that dry and come back for another coat. Coat number 2 on the badge. Thin coat number 3. This will be coat number 4 for this guy. It goes on lumpy, but if you do thin coats like this, it smooths out. Alright, I realize it's looking great, but this is going to be in the front of the truck and probably going to take a pretty good beating in the salt and the, everything that's going to be pelting it. So I'm going to add some more coats here. You probably don't need to because you're smarter than me, but since I'm a big dumbass, I'm going to load it up. Looks pretty good, right? It really could be done, but there's just a little bit more left in my can. You hear that? There's something in there. So let's put it on. But not too thick. Don't get greedy. Alright, so the grill is out. I sanded it with some 500 grit to knock down the old paint and to give the aluminum a fresh surface to paint on. And this is a Rust-Oleum Universal Paint Primer in 1. But this is coat number 1 with this can, so let's see how it comes out. I'm just going to put on a nice fine mist for the first coat, kind of like I do with Plasti dip, really no different. And that's that for coat number 1. We are ready for thin coat number 2 on this grill. Starting to look a little blacker. The crappy rattle can keeps spitting. Alright, we've given all the paint and Plasti dip a chance to dry overnight. Of course, I painted the hardware too, that's what's in this cup. We're ready to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, so let's do this. Alright, step 1, we're going to remove this from the box, which is just going to be pulling it off of the box. No big deal. Nice little shadow it left behind. Not bad. Alright, let's snap our Tundra logo back into the grill. And that's done. And that's how that looks on the factory grill. And let's throw in the billet parts now. This is all of my hardware laid out that's been painted, and you can see in there there's the bolts that I took off that were holding on the lower parts, those little guys. They were so rusty I just went and bought new ones and painted them black. Alright, so that's blacking out the billet and blacking out the Tundra badge with some Plasti dip. The billet is obviously was painted with just high gloss black paint, but I might end up Plasti dipping over that, I don't know. I'm not tied to the paint. I actually like Plasti dip a little bit better now that I'm seeing it up close. But we are going to do something with this chrome piece around the grill. I'm actually leaning towards going with body color, but if you guys would rather see me Plasti dip it, I'm fine with that. I mean, that's easy to peel off and go back to body color if you prefer it. But let me know what you think, and thanks for the feedback.